Hi, I'm riding around Houston, and today is a good day. I went to work, so I'm going to show you my commute downtown where I get on the bus and ride out to a suburb of Houston. It's about a 35-minute bus ride, so I'll talk a little bit about that. And the rest of my day is really just kind of exemplary of one of the reasons that I love living in the city. I had a little bit of a layover between when I got back downtown from work and a meeting that I had in Midtown. And so I just decided to stop at a friend's house and hang out while they were kind of getting ready for dinner and then pop over and grab a banh mi sandwich and come back and then go to my meeting because they're right on the way and everything's so close and compact. So I'll talk a little bit more about just how much I love living in the city and how it affords me the opportunity to just kind of run into people and have those chance encounters. But for now, this is my work commute, and I do this almost every morning. And as you can see, I kind of make my own protected bike paths or bike lanes. I rode through that parking lot. It's before a lot of those businesses are open. And I'll pop over to this one. This is an off-street one that's nice, but you'll see up here pretty quickly that it ends and turns into a sidewalk. But rather than going into traffic, I'll just cut the corner here and pretend like I have a protected right turn bike lane. Even up here, when I cross the tracks, cars I know will slow down because the lane narrows there and the tracks are raised and they don't want to launch into space. And so I don't stress as much about looking over my shoulder here as I would if I was kind of merging anywhere else because I can feel and I know that the cars are slowing down back there. So the more I've done this commute, the more I've kind of learned, like, right here is where I need to get in the left lane because a lot of the cars, if they are coming, they're behind me and they're wanting to turn right to get on the freeway. But I want to go straight and go downtown. So I like to talk about how even in Houston, you can find a route that feels safe and nice most of the time, but sometimes you just have to make connections in places that maybe are a 3-lane road with more cars. And I tend to kind of adjust my timing. This is pretty early in the morning before the real main rush hour. So there's not that much traffic, but as you can see, it's not super nice. It's not like there's a protected bike lane, but I've kind of gotten the feel for this street. There's some parking right here across from Minute Maid, and that keeps cars out of this lane. So I get to use it kind of like a hybrid protected bike lane. I'm not actually protected, but because of all the stop signs, generally the speeds are kind of slow on this street, and I feel safe most of the time. I'll kind of cut through the parking lots when I can, but as long as I'm kind of flowing with traffic at 10 to 12 miles an hour and hitting the lights, I feel pretty good here. There is an alternative. I showed it in one of my other videos where you can take a off-street protected bike path down under the freeway, but it's a little bit out of the way. There's some more hills. I try not to go down there at night because it's pretty close quarters. But as you can see, I'm just kind of unfortunate to have as part of my commute this area that's mostly surface parking lots for the Astros Stadium, Minute Maid Stadium. And so there's just just kind of a lot of traffic, and it's not a super nice place to be. But all in all, it's not too bad. I do this ride all the time and haven't had any issues. So here I am rolling up to my bus stop. It's usually about 5 to 7 minutes of the ride from my neighborhood over to this stop. So not too bad. Even when it's hot, I can take it easy, and I don't ever get too sweaty. I don't have to feel like I have to take a shower when I get to work or anything. But I usually try to get here a little early because I am riding the deadhead back out. So these are the park and rides, or at least the buses that I ride are the park and ride buses, and they are designed for suburban commuters to park close to where they live, and hop on the bus, and blast downtown in the HOV lane, and they get to skip the traffic. And a lot of people actually take advantage of it. Sometimes I'll see 20 or 30 people getting off the bus when I'm down on the other end. But there are not as many commuters like me that commute out of town. That's for a lot of reasons, but I think one of the biggest reasons is that the drivers are not as diligent about being on time when they're down here. It's kind of a chicken and the egg situation. I think part of it is because there's not as much ridership going the other way, and part of it is, I don't know, I think Metro just doesn't prioritize it right. So if you can imagine, I've been left here a few times. It's not perfect, so that really discourages me. I'm really committed, but I think a lot of people, after getting left once or twice, because the buses only come every 15 minutes, would probably give up and just get back in their car. So I think Metro probably doesn't support it because there's not a lot of ridership, but I also think there's not a lot of ridership because they don't support it. But anyways, the bus was pretty well on time today. It really depends on the driver and how much of a rule follower they are, I guess. So I usually try to get here just a few minutes early, and then I kind of hang out and watch the city happen around me and hop on the bus.
Morning.
The ticketing process is pretty easy. It's just $2, and you buy it through their app. It's called the Q Ticketing app. And then I just enjoy the ride. It's super relaxing. I usually get to read a book, or a lot of the times I'll talk to the drivers just because it's just me. And I know about a lot of their kids, and it's a lot of fun. I just get to kind of enjoy, rather than stressing in 60 to 80 mile an hour traffic, having to drive. When I ride the bus, I show up to work kind of relaxed and regulated, which is not a way I feel after driving for 35 to 40 minutes on the highway in Houston traffic. It helps too that I'm going outbound during the inbound rush hour. The bus moves pretty quickly and it's a smooth trip. Most of the time I'm almost never late if I get on the bus at the time that I am supposed to at the stop. I cannot even imagine, though, driving into town from the suburbs to work in downtown or north of downtown in the morning. You just saw one of the park and ride buses in the HOV lane kind of blasting by the traffic. Sometimes it is just a parking lot.
Have a great day.
They can't expand the highways fast enough to keep up with it, and they don't fund Metro enough or support Metro enough to offset it with people riding the bus. So I don't know how people do it, other than for a lot of them it's kind of their only option. Maybe the bus doesn't go where they want to go or pick up at the right times. And so a lot of people, I think, waste a lot of time and suffer a lot, and not to mention it's super dangerous. But once again, keeping these videos positive so far. So every now and then you get a sticky bike rack. I would say most of the time they slide in and out pretty easy, but I had to push on this one pretty hard. Now it's just a quick roll around the corner to work. That guy gave me the bike wave. It's like I think a wave of solidarity out here in the suburbs. As you'll see, it's a lot less nice. The roads are really big and high speed, and everything's really spread out here. So I'm just really lucky that I work in a place that's close enough to one of the park and ride locations. As you can see, a lot of the land around here is fields for cows, or there's a big school over here, but I would say not a lot of people work within maybe like a 2-mile radius of these stops, and that makes sense. They're designed to be kind of commuter park and ride surrounded by parking lots. But I'm just really grateful that there is an option for me, because I much prefer it to fighting traffic. And now I'm heading back into town. I think I had a pretty stressful day at work, and I, once again, am just glad that I get to roll back to the bus, listen to a podcast, read a book, and kind of unwind. Or it takes a little longer to get back in the evenings, but by the time I get home, I'm kind of relaxed and happy again. There I was waving at the bus driver. to say hi, but also just to say, hey, I'm here. Please don't leave me. So even down here, they're not quite as accommodating to the reverse commuters as they are to kind of their normal inbound direction in the morning or their outbound direction in the evening. Do what? Yes. Yeah. This bike rack slides a lot easier. Most of them are like this. During the ride here is when I realized that my meeting is later than I thought, so I went ahead and texted my friend and just said, hey, no pressure, but I'm going to be close and I'm going to a meeting close to your house.
Is this the stop right here?
Any chance I could pop in?
Okay,
and they
great.
were excited to have
Oh,
me.
yeah. I guess something happened to the bus stop. Have a great day. Thank you. Thank you.
So this is Austin Street. It is the main protected bike lane that goes through the center of downtown into Midtown, from Buffalo Bayou down to Herman Park, and it's super nice. It has bicycle lights, and it's just kind of a really quick, easy, safe feeling way to cut through the city pretty quickly. Shout out to Gypsy Poet on the right here, one of the best pizza places in the city. I thought about stopping here because I needed to grab food before my meeting, but they don't really do single slices, so it's not the quickest place to get in and out. No worries though, my friend has a great suggestion for a Vietnamese place with banh mi's. There are actually like 3 within half a mile of here, so he ended up suggesting the one that he thought would be the closest, kind of the fastest, and least expensive. So I hadn't been here before, but I'm going to swing by and grab a sandwich before I pop over to their house. This street crossing is a reminder that we are still in Houston, and some of the roads, especially the one-ways going through downtown, are huge and carry a ton of car traffic. They're loud, annoying, dangerous, and if you catch them wrong, you can get stuck and be waiting for a pretty good long time. So yeah, this is Kem Thai. Definitely a hole-in-the-wall place that looks like it's been here for a really long time. The guy recognized me from calling in.
Oh, thank you.
And it was just cheap, good quality food. I'm sure I would be here a lot more if I lived in this neighborhood. But I actually have a Vietnamese place in my neighborhood that is one of my favorite restaurants in the city. It's called Roostar. They have amazing banh mi's and boxes. And I didn't know that I would be a person who really liked Vietnamese food until Roostar totally changed my mind. It's basically just like amazing sandwiches. So I'm now a huge fan, and that's one of, I think I've mentioned it before in other videos, but that is one of the biggest perks of living in this city. It is such a diverse, amazing food city, and I promise if you're not really a foodie, if you live here, it will change your mind. You will start caring about food. Anyways, I ate my dinner and hung out with my friends for about 20 minutes and carried on my way back out on the Austin Street bike lane down to my meeting. Thanks for tuning in again if you're still with me. This video is a really good example of just some of my favorite things about living inside the loop in the denser part of the center city. I have all kinds of opportunities to pop in and see friends. I run into people that I know all the time. There's great food all around me, and things are compact enough that I can take advantage of transit as a part of my daily routine. And when I have a meeting, it's not so far away that I can't bike, even when it's hot outside or I'm on my way home from work. And it just really makes life better. The city is better by bike. And I really am just reminded often of that feeling that I had in college where all my friends were close, everything was compact, it was kind of easy to get around, easy to get what I needed. I didn't stress so much about spending a bunch of time commuting or just providing for my basic needs, and I had a lot of free time to kind of do things I enjoyed and spend time outside, and really just to spend a lot of time with people that I really like. There's a meme out there that talks about how people feel like they feel nostalgic for their college years, but really they just miss living in a compact, walkable place that has some density, and that really rings true for me. I feel like I didn't have to sacrifice that after college because I chose to live in a place that gives me some of those benefits. Thanks for watching, and I hope you get out and ride your bike this week.